the last few rounds of Nick Ball versus TJ Doheny. Um, just got back home after a morning of boxing sparring, so I just made it in time to tune in for rounds 8 through 12. We have TJ Doheny, who caught my attention after during his fight with Naoya Inoue. He's the southpaw that's taking on Nick Ball. Um, very much the fighter Nick Ball, Nick Wrecking Ball, always comes to fight. He's one of those sort of shorter, stockier build fighters. In this particular case, Doheny has slight height advantage. And of course, Doheny fights out of southpaw stance. So we are in the last minute of the 8th round. Nick Ball with a nice jab to the head, jab to the body. TJ Doheny circles away. Nick Ball walking him down, trying to get Doheny against the ropes, but Doheny, being sort of elusive, just backs away along the ropes and then works his way back to center ring. Lands a good jab, left hand to the body. Nick coming in with a hard right hand to the body, then 2 upstairs. Doheny has some nice defensive head movement, weaves underneath Nick Ball's hooks. Nick here is playing the pursuer, where Doheny's trying to be a little bit cagey, a little bit cute, kind of got both hands down, leaning over his lead foot and looking at Nick Ball. Not sure if Doheny's keeping his hands down at his thighs simply to try to conserve energy, and that's the end of the 8th round. So in all honesty, of course, I did not get to see the first half of this fight. Big Dog, good to see you. I'm watching the Nick Ball versus TJ Doheny fight. My main interest is because I took note of TJ Doheny during his fight with Naoya Inoue. And Nick Ball, I can't remember which of his fights I've watched, but he always comes to fight, so I figured this will be a good, entertaining matchup. Interestingly enough, Nick Ball chooses not to sit down on the stool between rounds. We're looking at the highlights here. They're showing Nick Ball weave under one of Doheny's punches and come back with a hard right, overhand right. And right at the end of the round, Doheny, kind of a veteran move, just kind of winks with one eye to Nick Ball. All right, here we go. 9th round out of 12. Again, we have Doheny fighting with his hands down by his thighs, bouncing on his feet, using his footwork to circle away from Nick Ball and then come back with a jab and a left to the body. I don't know that this hands down tactic's gonna. Oh, and Nick Ball drops TJ right at the ropes. At this point, Doheny's right eye is almost swollen shut. Oh, okay, so now I'm not sure what happened here. The ref is taking a point from Nick Ball. Okay. So now we're back to the action. Now Doheny brings his hands up to at least the shoulder height. But we have Nick Ball just pressing forward. He's got 2 minutes left in this round. Try to recoup that point he just got deducted, and at least make this an even round. Okay, we have Doheny just throwing out very, very just touch jabs, not really got a lot of bad intention on them, whereas Nick Ball just covers up with a high double guard and comes back hard with his shots. Hard jab to the body. 1, 2, 3, uppercut. Oh my goodness. Ball spins all the way around in 360, jab to the head, jab to the body, or right hand to the body, rather, double jab to the head. TJ Doheny again with a double jab left hand. The one thing I don't like that Nick Ball's doing is he's just covering up double high guard and not moving, which kind of just leaves himself as a stationary target for Doheny. Now, granted, it looks like Nick Ball has pretty fast reflexes, so as soon as Doheny fires, Nick tries to counter. And he's certainly more the pursuer here. Doheny goes back to dropping his hands by his thighs, trying to sort of lure Nick Ball in to try to counter him. And Nick grants him that favor. He's constantly pressing forward. Oh, Nick just misses with a big overhand shot. Doheny trying to be cute with his body movement. We've got less than a minute going. Hello, Lewis. Sam. Didn't that guy drop Inouye? No, that was Neri that dropped Inouye. Caden. Who is Nick Ball? Nick Ball is a British fighter. Always comes to fight. Okay, again, Nick Ball with the double high guard. Not really a fan of that. But he steps in with hard jab and he tries for a hard right to the body. Right now, Nick has TJ up against the ropes. TJ looks like he's trying to play that sort of cagey veteran move and take little small steps backwards to get Nick to come forward so we can counter him. Sam says Winky Wright was a master of the high guard. He really didn't slip punches. Right, but he did parry and he did use his feet. So yeah, absolutely, Sam, 100% agree with you. Winky Wright had an amazing, sort of he made great use of that double high guard. It seems like a lot of younger guys just put up the double high guard and then they're frozen. They don't use their feet, not really looking to parry or make slight angle adjustments to deflect punches. Okay, we got Doheny's cut man trying to bring the swelling down on that eye, but he really needs to iron it out with that end swell. I'm thinking that the ref deducted that point from Nick Ball because he kind of threw Doheny down. He threw a punch, caught him on the neck, and then just did almost a grappling move to get him down on the canvas. All right, here we go at the 10th round. All right, not sure what's going on with Doheny, but he looks a little bit distracted. Nick has cornered him against the ropes. Doheny's choosing to fight with his back foot on the ropes and kind of leaning into the ropes. And Nick Ball is just swarming all over him. This could be it right now. The ref could stop it soon. Because we don't have Doheny firing back at all. It's just kind of moving. Oh, feinting. All right, there we go. Doheny comes back with a left. But I think Nick knows this is potentially his moment to finish this fight if he can launch a good attack. Okay, now Doheny's coming alive. Jab to the head, jab to the body, jab to the head. Gets caught up. Both men just peering at each other through their high guard. Ball fires off about 5 shots, head and body. TJ Doheny, double jab, left hand to the body. Ref is warning him to keep the punches up. Again, we got Doheny's right eye is almost swollen shut. Back in the center of the ring, Nick Ball, double high guard. Doheny tries head and body. Nick responds with about 5 punches that don't really land flush. Now we have TJ actually rallying with a bit of an effort, even though he's moving backwards and making defensive moves to try to weave under Nick Ball's attack. Again, Nick Ball, double high guard, kind of coming forward, double jab, right hand. Doheny doing very cute footwork to evade Nick Ball's attack. The men get caught up in a clinch against the ropes. Referee separates them. Just over 30 seconds left. Nick Ball walking Doheny down with a double high guard, firing shots with bad intentions. He might miss 4 shots, throwing lots of wide hooks. But this is turning into just a scrap against the ropes. Doheny not looking good right now. 3 uppercuts from Nick Ball land on Doheny. Doheny's still trying to be evasive, but fighting with his hands down by his thighs. And Doheny makes it to the end of that round. 2 more rounds to go. At this point, Doheny's just looking, I think, to survive, honestly, to see if he can finish this fight. That's a very tough position for him to be in. His trainer picks him up. Doheny's leaning over the ropes. I think they just conceded victory. That's it. All right, so Nick Ball just had, that was his defense. That was his title defense, so congrats to Nick Ball. TJ Doheny leaning over the ropes, being consoled by his corner. Nick Ball celebrates by jumping up in the corner, greets his kids in the ring. Good for him. Just kept up the pressure constantly. Doheny didn't quit. I mean, I think that was, I'm guessing that was his corner's decision. I mean, he did go out on his shield, so to speak. All right, guys, so we'll stick around a little bit longer. Yeah, Doheny looking really disconsolate with his head down right against the ropes. Not sure how that exchange went. If that was if that was Doheny's call, I'm gonna guess. Doheny seems to be the fighting type, right? So like, someone who goes to Japan and takes on Naoya Inoue, is not scared to be the B side. But he just endured, you know, up to a dozen punches from Nick Ball without really firing back. Now, granted, they weren't super flush punches all the time, but they were hard shots. And if Nick Ball throws 10, I mean, 2 or 3 are going to sneak through, including a series of triple right uppercuts to the chin. Okay, so officially we enter the 11th round and the ref waves it off. TJ's now coming out for the 11th. Still got his head down against the ropes. Gotta really feel for him. Because you could tell he did put the effort into that fight. But just didn't have enough to stop the onslaught of Nick Ball. Right, are you guys going to watch UFC? Are you going to watch Edward Berlanga later on? Are you guys boxing fans or MMA fans? What are you guys planning on watching later tonight? Boxing or MMA? Right, let me know, because maybe we'll do another live a little bit later if anyone's going to tune in for the boxing fight, Edward Berlanga. Can't remember the name of his opponent, but Edgar Berlanga is the fellow who, in his most recent fight, lost to Canelo Alvarez, Puerto Rican fellow out of New York. UFC tonight is Marvin Vettori in the main event. All right, so now we're getting the official announcement. Okay, so this is a 10th round TKO for Nick Ball, WBA featherweight champ. So congrats to Nick Ball. It's an apt name because he does come to wreck his opponent. He comes with gusto with all his punches. So he's a fun fighter to watch. All right, so here's one of my favorite boxing pundits is Steve Bunsey. Let's see. So Bunsey's pointing out that Ball used more of his boxing skills in this match. And Ball is saying that he felt that he could feel TJ Doheny fading in the second half of the fight. So Nick Ball's trainer, Paul Stevenson, is also saying he's happy that Nick Ball showed more boxing skills in this fight than just sort of, you know, coming forward with aggression. And promoter Frank Warren is saying he wants to keep Nick Ball busy. Quite the salesman, Frank Warren, really playing to the crowd, of course. All right, guys, are any of you guys going to watch boxing later or MMA? This was just a quick little live because I did want to catch this as much of this fight as I possibly could. It's mid-afternoon or 4:30 in the afternoon here Pacific time. So, in any case, all right. So this was a quick one. Uh, haven't heard from anybody. Hi. All right, but thank you, Big Dog, Caden, Sam, Luis. Thank you all for tuning in. I may set up another live for the UFC fights or for Edgar Berlanga. But until then, thanks, and please check out some of my other videos on the Hamaguchi Fight channel. All right, we'll see you guys the next time. Have a great one.